Hello learners, welcome to our English grammar class. Today's class we will know what is clause and what are the different clauses. Before going to the clause, we know it very well that what is your word and what is phrase and what is your clause. We can say word means it is a composition of letters giving a something meaning, some meaning, and likewise phrase is the combination of words. For example, we can say the Independence Day of India. It is a phrase, but when we say clause, it has a subject part and a predicate part. So what is clause? We can define here. A clause is a group of words that form a part of a longer sentence and has a subject and predicate of its own. When we get single clause sentence, it is known as your simple sentence. But when there are more than one clauses in a sentence, that means multi-clause sentences, we can name them compound or complex sentence. For example, everybody in the family went to the cinema, but Mohan stayed at home. If we take everybody in the family went to the cinema, this is one clause and it has a subject part and a predicate part. So this can be said that it is a simple sentence. But total sentence, it is a multi-sentence, multi-clause sentences. Everybody in the family went to the cinema. It is one clause, and another clause is Mohan stayed at home. So there are two clauses here, and hence it is multi-clause sentence. And both those clauses are joined by a coordinating conjunction, that is but. In the second sentence, you see here Mohan stayed at home, but everybody else in the family went to the cinema. Here also there is a coordinating conjunction and two parts. Part 1, Mohan stayed at home, it is one clause. Everybody else in the family went to the cinema. It is second part, or we can say it is another clause. And both the clauses can be separated, can be written independently. So both are main clauses or coordinating clauses. We can change them, we can reverse them. Here the first one is in the second sentence, it is in the second one. So likewise, we can say both the clauses separately, main clause or simple sentence, but when we combine them, one is your main clause and another is your coordinate clause, because there is a coordinating conjunction here. In the third example, you see here Mohan stayed at home when everyone else was at the cinema. In this sentence, you see here there are also two clauses. Mohan stayed at home, it is one clause, and these clause can be separated, but the latter one, when everyone else was at the cinema, these cannot be separated. This cannot be placed separately. It is not independent one. So it is dependent one. This part, when everyone else was at cinema, this part depends on the main clause. Mohan stayed at home. So it is main clause. As it is depends, it is dependent clause, or we can say it is subordinate clause. But you see here, we can change here the part 1 and part 2. That means we can reverse here. But another example you see here where the reverse is not possible. How? He sealed and posted the letter. As we have discussed, he sealed, it is a simple sentence. Also, it can be called main clause. Likewise, posted the letter. Here posted the letter means here he posted the letter. So he posted the letter is another clause. And both the clauses can be separated. And they are joined by a coordinating conjunction, that is and. So first one is your main clause and second one is your coordinating clause. So both the sentences joining by and, this is one sentence and it is grammatically correct as well as it is also meaningful. But in the same way, in the second sentence, he posted, this is one clause and sealed the letter. That means he sealed the letter. It is another clause. There is also same coordinating conjunction. Only the order is changed. He posted and sealed the letter. That means when one letter is posted, how one can seal it? Is it meaningful? Is there any meaning? No, it doesn't have any meaning. So we cannot say that it is meaningful, though it is grammatically correct, because this part is simple one, this part is also simple one, and both the sentences, both the clauses are combined with coordinating conjunction. It is grammatically correct. He posted and sealed the letter. It is grammatically correct. But what is the meaning? It is meaningless. It has absurd meaning. So we cannot write this in the like way. In this way, we cannot write this. But the third one you see here, after sealing the letter, he posted it. That means first sealing work is over, then he posted the letter into the mailbox. Likewise, he posted the letter after sealing it. It is also same thing. But both the sentences you see here, in the first sentence and the latter one, in both the sentences, after sealing the letter, he posted it. He posted it, as you know, he posted it is simple sentence and it is also full meaningful and it is your main clause. Here is also he posted the letter, same thing, but the next clause is one after sealing it. Here is also after sealing it. In this part, in this clause, you see here sealing. Sealing, is it finite or non-finite? As you know, sealing is non-finite verb. Sealing is non-finite verb. As sealing is non-finite verb, this total clause, this part is known as non-finite clause. Likewise, in the next sentence also the same thing, after sealing it. This sealing is your non-finite verb, hence after sealing it is non-finite verb. Okay, but let us see the sentence last one. He posted the letter after he had sealed it. He posted the letter. It is well known to you that it is your complete sentence and it is simple one, and we can take it main clause. It is your main clause. It is not dependent one. It is independent one. But after he had sealed it, same thing, after he had sealed it, the meaning of the after he had sealed it is equal to after sealing it. But the grammatical structure is not same. He had sealed it. Here had sealed is the verb. Here had is your finite verb. Sealing is non-finite one. Where was had is your finite one. As you know, finite verb is the verb form which we can change it to the past form. That means had is the past form of the have. So we can say had is your finite verb. It is your finite verb. Okay. So as this part has a finite verb, that is have, so we can say this one after he had sealed it. This clause is known as your finite clause. This one is your finite clause. After sealing the letter is non-finite with non-finite verb, so it is non-finite clause. But after he had sealed it is with a finite verb had, So this part is finite clause. But remember one thing, as we discussed your simple sentence, compound sentence, or a complex sentence, in all these things, the same thing is happened that in complex sentence, there is a part, there is a clause which is dependent one, which cannot stay separately, independently, alone, whether that may be finite or non-finite. That may be finite clause or that may be non-finite clause. So we cannot take it independently, we cannot write it independently because it is absurd or it is meaningless. So here we discussed or know that whether finite or non-finite, the clause that can stay alone is subordinate clause. That means what we can say subordinate clause? When a clause that may be finite or may not be finite or that may be non-finite, that clause cannot stay alone, that clause cannot be kept separately, it depends another clause, then we can say that that clause is separately can't be written and hence it is named as subordinate clause. So in our next class we will know what are the different types of subordinate clauses. So today this is over and you have to be ready for the next class. Thank you.